Hey, fellas. Welcome back to the Fellas
Fellas Friday.
Show. It's Fellas Friday. It's
I'm
July
excited.
2nd. Coming up on that 4th of July weekend, an extra special Fellas Friday. Um,
I'm very excited for this
ooh,
Fellas
I
Friday.
got an echo on.
Do you?
I got that fixed now. Alright, now it's
Perfect.
really Fellas Friday.
It's really Fellas Friday. It is approximately 10:08 on the East Coast. It's Friday, July 2nd. Fellas Friday. If you're in the
True.
chat, you know what to do. If you've been here before, just a little comment gets you a free week of VIP. We're starting
Anything,
out
dude.
July.
You can be mean if you want to. I don't know why you would, because you're giving you a free week. But if you want to, you can be mean. You can be nice.
Speaking
Indifferent.
speaking of VIP, I have to go check. I actually have not ran the results from last night yet. Let me
Oh,
check on that real quick. We've got Atlanta Hawks lost, Connecticut
yeah.
Sun lost. They didn't cover, even though they're up 20 at half, and then we have them 15 and a half full game, and then they choke in fourth. That's fine though. The Dirty Sox parlay round four does cash. Round
Amazing.
four, round four,
Dirty
baby.
socks merch.
The honestly, Dirty Sox merch coming out very shortly. I guarantee it. Reds Royals over 10 hits. A's over 4.5 misses.
Too
Rockies money
easy.
line at plus money
Too
hits.
easy.
And then the final parlay for MLB misses both games. The Mets go to extra innings and lose, and the Giants lose to the Diamondbacks to give them their fifth win in the past 47 games.
Wow.
Yikes.
Imagine
That's
being
a
that guy.
Imagine
Imagine being
being
the
the
one who lets
guy.
that happen, huh?
Yeah, imagine being the guy who bets on the team that gives the Diamondbacks one of the, not to mention the team that has the best record in baseball. But it's fine. It's all good. It's all good because now it's Friday and we're on to a new day. I'm gonna guess the results were probably negative half unit, maybe dead even, maybe 1 unit.
Yeah.
That's my guess. I need to run it actually though. Okay. On for today, we have lots to talk about today. There has been some shit going on. Sean, what do you want to start with?
Oh man, we
Because
could
I feel like
go.
any of these could go off on a tangent.
Yeah, we could go a lot of
So that
directions
just
here.
so the fellas know, me and Sean wake up about, I don't know, a couple hours, and probably not even a couple hours, hour and a half before this. We do our own little research, and then with about 20 minutes to go, we just drop bombs on each other of what we found. And then we
Yep.
wait till right now to actually talk about it. Every once in a while, we'll talk about something beforehand. But
Oh.
normally, this is all fresh conversations and things that we've been looking at all morning.
I think I found something that I didn't even tell you about yet.
Oh,
That
nice.
is
That's the
going
best.
to be.
These are the
This is
best ones when I have no idea what you're about to say next.
so. I think I think you're gonna like this one. Um. So Josh Donaldson, right?
Oh God, dude, he is a menace.
A Wednesday. He sat down for a Zoom conference call and a T-shirt that said, "You got something to say." Um. So apparently that day, Lucas Giolito of the
That
White
was
Sox was this. He took offense when Donaldson yelled. It was like it's not the sticky. He did the whole
oh
thing.
yeah,
We
when he
watched
did it
that
after he hit
video.
his
We watched that
dinger.
video. Yeah, and he said he's a pest. At the end of the night, there's a W next to my name, and they're in last place. That was what Giolito said.
Correction, he said
Um,
he's a fucking pest, not
that's
just a
true. That's
pest.
true. Oh yeah, that's what the dot 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 there stands for. I see. So this is he just so first he just goes off for a couple paragraphs, and I think I'm just gonna. He didn't really have much to say. He thought that he said that he thought I was annoying. I said, "So what? I'm on the opposing team. What do you care about me?" I said, "I'm in your face. I'm telling you what I think. What have you got to say about that?" And he didn't have any response. First off, he called me a pest, right? Which is fine. I kind of almost consider that a compliment. You're not supposed to like me being on the opposing team, so I'm fine with that. I didn't like being called classless. And he said what he meant. He said a lot of things he was saying, just fire up his team. Um, but apparently, this went to the parking lot after the game.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah. Um, Post game, a lot of words were exchanged between Donaldson and Giolito in the parking lot.
In the parking lot.
in the parking lot. Like,
What, at their team buses or something?
yeah, I guess, yeah. The buses on the way out of the game, they had a little flare up. Now it seemed to be just verbal altercation, a little like, "Hey, what'd you
Just
do? Hey,
verbal
what'd you
assault.
say? Hey, what'd you do that for? Hey, hey, hey." Um, but man, if this is
Josh Donaldson reminds me of like the youngest child in a 5-person family.
yeah, yeah.
He reminds me of just the little brother who's just a narc, tries to get all of his fucking siblings in trouble constantly. I only say this because I'm the youngest child. Um, Constantly trying to get his siblings in trouble and then just poking jabs at them. Just poking little shots. Just the sticky fingers after the home run. And then Giolito's like, dude, knock it off. And he's like, don't you? I'm not a pest. You're a fucking pest.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I just can't wait. Like, this has been 1 week.
I know.
I can't wait to see.
I have obviously Josh Donaldson plays for my team, so I'm a little bit biased on this, but it'd be so much cooler if Josh Donaldson played for a good team and then was talking all this shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if they were like, if he was like on the Giants or something, first in the entire league, and then he's talking this shit and hitting dingers on pitchers and shit like that, like that would be sick. But the problem is you're on one of the worst teams in the MLB.
Yeah, what Giolito
And then he's
said
talking
was
shit
correct. He said,
and then he's talking
"There's a
shit to
W next to
Giolito.
my name, and you guys are last."
And then he's talking shit to Giolito, who just swept the Twins. Thank you, Dirty Sox parlay 4-0, 4-0. Red Sox money line, White Sox money line, 4 days in a row parlayed.
All right, that's a
you,
fun
Giolito.
one though.
Yes, I always enjoy the Josh
believe
Donaldson
the
talk.
Sox. I don't.
I can't believe it. That merch better be ready to go.
Did we beat the MLB?
I think we just figured out the biggest trend in the history of the world, where maybe the Red Sox and White Sox win on the same days
Every
at
time.
all times. Every day they both win it.
All right, so that was a little one to wet the whistle, right?
Yeah, that I don't feel like arguing on that one, but I feel like one of these I might.
Let's get into. Let's move up because these can get kind of controversial. We'll move up. We'll do least to most controversial. So that was just a little spat. Now we got some NCAA news. Having to do on the heels of the NIL stuff, the name, image, and likeness laws and rules that were all passed yesterday. Reggie Bush, we know he's had run-ins with the past with the NCAA on account of
away.
Yeah, so has a bunch of records, had a Heisman, then we won that in 2005. Then by 2010. The NCAA found out that he had been receiving gifts during his time at USC, made him return the Heisman, and they took all his records off the books. Following the change in the rules yesterday, Reggie is like, "Hey guys, all right, so we're cool now then, right?"
Yeah, so we're good. So I did nothing wrong, turns out.
So that's all good. No. So no.
They still hate Reggie.
No. So they said no.
Have you seen? Oh, keep going.
He goes, over the last few months, on multiple occasions, me and my team have reached out to the NCAA and the Heisman Trust in regard to the reinstatement of my college records and the return of my Heisman. We left multiple messages for Michael Comerford, the president of the Heisman Trophy or the Heisman Trust, but instead received a call from Bob Whalen, the executive director, who stated that Mr. Comerford would not be calling us back and that in any event they could not help us.
That's harsh.
We reached out on multiple occasions and have received no help or gotten no response at all. It is my strong belief that I won the Heisman Trophy solely due to my hard work and dedication on the football field, and it is also my firm belief that my record should be reinstated. Yeah, I feel like most people would agree with that.
Yeah. I feel like most people would agree with that before the rule change.
Yeah, that too.
I mean, most serious sport fans or serious college fans would probably be okay with Reggie Bush getting his Heisman back. But now it just seems kind of no-brainer that you'd give him it back. Like, I get it, he did something wrong, but also he's one of the only people who actually got caught doing it wrong. Right.
Because
we all know that like 90% of athletes are getting some kind of something.
Yeah.
Also, Did you see how many athletes signed endorsement deals yesterday?
Yes, a ton. How
Um,
you think they all got that set up just yesterday?
no, definitely not.
Yeah,
However,
there you go.
Dave Portnoy and Barstool just got theirs set up yesterday, literally on a video from Dave Portnoy. He created a company in the middle of a video, and he's like, any D1 athlete that wants to be a Barstool athlete, message us. He's like, we'll take every single one. Because apparently, I don't know the name. She plays for Jacksonville State. She's a volleyball player. Apparently, she was the first one who reached out to Dave and said, hey, send me a bunch of merch. I'll represent. I want to be the first athlete for Barstool. He was like, yeah, absolutely. And then he made that video, and I think they probably have over like 300 athletes signed already for
Damn.
Barstool in the first day. I'm gonna get their last name wrong too. The twin sisters from Fresno State basketball.
Yeah,
They
had
signed a
that.
deal an hour after it got announced. They got on a plane immediately to New York, signed a mobile company deal. They're already on big billboards in New York City. I saw they're really excited about it. Other news. Oh, there's a really cool app. Potts Picks actually told me about this. And one of his really, really good friends created an app called Endorse and it's like Endorse or something like that. It's a app that originally was there to give college athletes a platform to be like build their brand and everything like that. And now that they are actually able to make money, they signed with GoPuff. They actually partnered with GoPuff of all people. And I was on the phone with Potts yesterday and I was like, oh my God, it's based out of Philly. Anyways, really good idea. So now you'll see a shitload of athletes representing GoPuff, which is a delivery service that delivers literally anything and everything. It's going to explode. I just thought that was really cool. I just thought yesterday was
awesome.
Yesterday was a very, very incredible day for college athletes. Every single one. I know a couple college athletes. I know a gymnast that's at Utah. I know a couple wrestlers that are at the University of Minnesota. I know a couple other football players around D1, not D1, but like the FBS. What's the one below? And I forget what it's called. Anyways, no couple there. They're all extremely ecstatic. I saw all over their Instagrams yesterday, just posting things like, hey, if you're a business and you'd like to, sponsor me, let me know, blah, blah, blah. I'm open to all and everything. And it's cool too, because these athletes are absolutely not limited at all. I mean, every college athlete could have 20 endorsements by tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because everyone's going to hop on that train very, very, very early. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens in the next month or so. What businesses come out of it, because there's going to be that's a whole nother league to now brand and endorse and everything. It's incredible how many opportunities there's going to be. I'm sure Nike already has probably 100 athletes lined up or some shit. Really cool. Really good for the NCAA. It's an exciting time to be a student athlete. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd be very excited.
All right. Now, which direction?
I want to talk about the football team.
All right. All right.
I'm going to try and keep this as nonchalant as possible. However, I know someone pretty closely that is very in tight with the Washington football team back to the days of the Redskins. They have a family member who is pretty high up in the football team's corporate things. I knew about this probably 2 or 3 years ago, this culture. I heard it from this person, and this person told me that the culture is terrible. They have prostitute rings in the actual stadium that the owner is totally okay with, like sets up everything. They have underground casinos there. They have they use that stadium for just a ton of illegal shit. Apparently the owner, I forget his name now, the terrible owner that we all know, is just a terrible person, pretty much. Doesn't have a lot of morals. And yeah, they got fined $10 million for it. The NFL figured out that it was probably a bad enough thing to where they actually fined them a 10 million. Like that's a big fine. That's not like the 50,000 that the coaches get or the 100,000. Like that's a $10 million fine. That's a that's more than just a slap on the wrist. You have to find something really, really bad in order to fine a team $10 million.
Yeah.
Todd, happy Fourth to you.
Hey, happy Fourth, man.
Um,
Um,
yeah, interesting stuff. Like I said, I've known about this for 2 or 3 years now, and I'm glad that it's finally coming out because it seemed like, and the person that I know was also very disappointed because their close relative wants the culture to change. It needed to change, and apparently with this owner, it really won't change. But the $10 million fine is
well, here's what I mean. So they've been undergoing an investigation that was initially by a third party, now by the NFL for the last like year and a half.
yeah,
That's how we got to this. Like, so, the allegations were, um, 15 former female employees described sexual harassment in the workplace, and then some more wild things like the cheerleaders being secretly videotaped while they were getting undressed and stuff. But they reached a settlement beforehand.
Yep.
Also stuff, and then like a lot of the stuff you said as well.
prostitute rings, gambling,
yeah.
illegal gambling.
So they interviewed. This has been like, remember when this came out? It was like a year ago. They've interviewed Dan Snyder a bunch of times. 150 current and former Washington football team employees. They actually found that it was a highly unprofessional workplace, especially for women, where bullying and intimidation took place.
Yep.
And several female employees experienced sexual harassment. So keep in mind that this $10 million fine is not on the grounds of prostitution rings or anything like that. Nothing like that crazy has been exposed. This fine is purely on the grounds of the type of workplace, just in like a normal day-to-day thing. Is that
That's
bad.
crazy. That's crazy.
Maybe
Because I thought for sure it would be because of the other things also going on.
Yeah.
Considering
like
when
the
it
price,
was
right?
when it was described to me, from the person that I know, it's basically that Dan Snyder uses the stadium at his leisure and just like invites all of his rich friends over to do like drugs, prostitution, like just everything and anything bad happens in that stadium. Yeah, it's not good.
I would also say,
And the word. I mean,
is it like how? Because that's a lot. That's kind of crazy from what I hear, especially looking at what I'm being told by the media right in front of me and what you're saying. This is very interesting. The fact that it's like, if it's really a hold Nan thing, then he is really just playing a real like, I don't know.
well, that's why I'm wondering what that 10 million was really for. You know, it's one thing for the NFL to come out and be like, "Oh yeah, they were disrespecting their staff and everything, blah blah blah. We're gonna fine them 10 million," which, by the way, seems like a pretty harsh penalty for sexual assault. I know that it's well deserved and everything like that, but
Well,
I've never heard of a $10 million fine
this
for
is
mistreating your workers.
Well, keep in mind though, like when was the last time you saw an entire organization get fined though? Because when you look at it on a player and a coach basis, like $10 million for the Washington football team as a company essentially is a drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
That's nothing. So that, I think that's part of it too. Because I was thinking the same thing. Like, how much even, like, when was the last time we saw something where the actual team got a fine? Maybe the New Orleans.
Did they get a fine for?
I don't know if they even got a fine as a team.
I don't think they did. I think Sean Payton got fined and a couple others got fined.
So it's hard to say, but it seems it's 10 mil team or not is a lot of money, but
yeah,
it's a lot different
if
it was an individual.
If
it was even if it was just Dan Snyder, even though he's rich as all hell, but like it's still for the whole organization.
$10 million is $10 million though, and it probably has to come out of Dan Snyder's pocket almost a little bit. So,
So,
but I'm telling you that there's more things that's going on there that the media is releasing, and I don't know.
Though,
I don't know if they were able to keep it under wraps. I highly doubt it. I just don't
No,
think the NFL wants to
I
release
believe I
information
believe
like
that it's
that.
improving too, though. And I'll tell you a
Oh,
couple.
absolutely. No, absolutely. The what's his name? Um, the new president of operations or whatever. What's his name?
I don't know his name.
They hired a black
Mm.
president of operations. And
Yeah,
I totally forget his name.
they diversified a lot of their
And apparently he
higher ups.
alone has changed the culture
I
immensely.
mean, obviously,
Apparently it was a great hire.
that's what I was gonna say. I was like, there's no way Ron Rivera is coaching somewhere that's gonna be that much of a mess.
No.
So that was a good sign in the beginning
Jason
when
Wright.
they even had him.
Jason Wright was
yeah,
the
yeah,
hire.
yeah.
Yes. Yes, Jason Wright was a great hire apparently. Again, from the person that I know, apparently the culture has changed a lot since he's come in. They did not too long ago. They actually did not like a clean house, but a lot of staff was asked to step down a while ago. So culture's changing. I mean, and then they bring in Ron Rivera, who is also a culture guy himself, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they are definitely getting better. I'm just saying, 5 years ago, if they would have investigated the football team, they damn near would have shut down that stadium. Or just Dan Snyder would have gotten arrested or something. Like something would have happened if they found out what was going on there a while ago, because it was really bad, really, really, really bad, and it showed too. Like you could easily see that kind of thing going on behind those lines. Seeing how Dan Snyder treated the team, wouldn't change his name from the Redskins because he just was being stubborn. Like all this shit. Like you can tell there was probably a real culture problem there.
So they've been given 10 recommendations to do. They need to have protocols for reporting harassment, disciplinary action plan, culture surveys, trainings, a more diverse workforce, clear lines of authority, expand and empower HR and legal, formal onboarding, performance management and compensation system, and an exit interview process, protect the cheerleading team, and assessment of policies. Now, something about this just felt so weird to me because it's 9 various HR business sentences like, we need to have a culture survey and have an exit interview so we can have the blah, blah, and it's just protect the cheerleading team. It's like
that's like a separate thing. It's just, hey, you need to make sure no one's being weird with the cheerleaders.
Dude, it goes, so we need clear lines of authority. I think we need a stronger legal team. Maybe an onboarding process that's more formal. Someone's got to protect those cheerleaders too, man. Like, we just got to get a bunch of big dudes to stand in front of them. Like, I just like, so that little things like that, I'm like, okay, there's definitely a little more here. Or else you wouldn't have a bullet point that said protect the cheerleading team.
That must have been like a real bad thing. Like, they must have really, like, which is so shitty because it's like, dude, the fucking cheerleaders? Like, are you kidding me? The cheerleaders? They really assaulted everyone. Like, they just went down the line from top to bottom. If you were a woman, whether you were in corporate or you were a cheerleader, you were not safe. That's ridiculous. Find them $100 million. See what happens.
Yeah.
That they never make that mistake again. Dumbasses. But yeah, good. I'm glad they got at least a little bit of a fine. At least they found something, considering they could have found a lot more. What else do we have today? Oh boy, you were talking about the Olympic runner who tested positive for weed and now might miss the Olympics, or is going to miss the Olympics.
Yeah. So, Sha'Carri Richardson, who I don't know. I saw her all over the place after the Olympic trials. She's a sprinter. Fire in the 100-meter dash. I believe she was the 6th fastest woman all time in those trials. You would recognize her from she had some very long orange hair. She came across and she just looked sick. You know, you just saw her. You saw the picture of her. I didn't even see the video. I was like, wow, she just dominated that. I don't even know what happened, but she obviously just dominated that race. Ran a 10.86, won the trials, was very, very, very in contention for the gold medal in Tokyo. She just tested positive for cannabis. So this means typically that results from that meet would be wiped out and would void that victory. Another source also mentioned that Jenna Prandini, who finished fourth in the final, normally the top three go, whoever finished fourth had already been approached and asked if she could go still. She tweeted out later on and just said, "I am human." Keep in mind, she's 21 years old. She's younger than us. She was supposed to be running a 200-meter dash in the Diamond League in Stockholm, Sweden. No longer on the entry list as of Thursday. So this is pretty bad. Wait. This gets worse. It gets worse. It gets worse. So the way cannabis is handled by the World Anti-Doping Agency.
Yep, the WADA.
Is that if athletes can prove that their ingestion was unrelated to sports performance, then the suspension is only 3 months instead of 4 years. And if they're willing to take an approved treatment program, then it can be reduced to 1 month. So all these headlines you see, anything that says, "Oh, she's suspended for 1 month, she won't miss the Olympics," blah blah blah. It's like, no. She is suspended for 4 years until she can prove that it had nothing to do with sports, which probably isn't too hard, because I don't think that most people would even ever consider cannabis a performing enhancing drug. Right?
If anything, it's probably the opposite.
Yeah.
Probably doesn't help.
So she could probably get it down to 3 months easily, and then she has to take class. But keep in mind, as of now, if this is all, it's a 4-year thing.
Okay, so because I have a friend or two that has been in Olympic qualifying and things like that, I know how this testing works. And just to kind of research it a little bit, I did go, and so just listen to this. So the WADA, the World Anti-Doping Association, THC limit used to be 15 nanograms per milliliter, which is, to put that in perspective, if you're trying to guesstimate, here's a place to start. A 2005 review by Paul Carey, director of the Toxicology and Drug Monitoring Laboratory at University of Missouri, concluded that at the standard 50 nanograms per milliliter cutoff, that's normally what you get tested for a normal job, anything like that. Most thresholds are anywhere from 15 to 100, but the most common one's 50.
Per liter, it would be what?
50 nanograms of milliliter of THC.
In what? Like in your
in your system, like in your urine test.
Okay, urine test. Gotcha.
Yeah. So in a common urine test, the most basic test normally tests for a minimum of 50 nanograms. So if you have only 49 in your system, it won't pop up as a positive test. It says it would be unlikely for a chronic user to produce a positive urine drug test result for longer than 10 days after the last smoking episode. Be unlikely. So 10 days after that, 10 days after a chronic user of THC would not test positive at 50 nanograms. Drop that threshold to 20 nanograms, which is almost what the Olympic limit was back in 2013. Carey found that the window extends to about 3 weeks. So at 20 nanograms, a chronic user, 3 weeks, probably in the clear. The Olympic Committee used to test at 15 nanograms a milliliter, but in 2013, they raised it to 150. 150 nanograms per milliliter. That's the minimum they test for. At 50, you cannot smoke for 10 days and it'll be out of your system. They test for 150 now. And she failed that.
Well,
dude, you'd have to be almost damn near high going to take that test to fail that.
Is that for Olympic only, or is that just all WADA?
That's Olympic. That's Olympic only.
Okay,
The
so
head of the
that's what I
International
was
Olympic
thinking.
Committee's medical commission said at the time that the change was a reasonable attempt at dealing with a complicated matter, adding,
Yeah.
there's a big debate
Okay.
on it.
So that's what I was saying, because I was like, how do you even? Because I remember we were talking about. I don't even know if it was on the show, but we were talking about this before, and I was like, I thought it was pretty hard to get.
It is
But then they said
extremely
she was
hard
going
to
to
test
that thing
positive.
in Sweden this weekend. So I'm thinking maybe she had to take a different test.
Like it wasn't done by the Olympic Committee.
Yeah, something in
Because
between those two.
from what I have heard from friends that have been in Olympic qualifying, they're like, dude, you could literally smoke every day for a month, basically rip a blunt before you go to take your drug test, and you could probably still pass it. So I don't know what she did. I don't know what happened, or if this was not actually the Olympic Committee that tested her, or they're on some other regulations, but it's damn near impossible for a U.S. Olympic athlete to test positive for cannabis. Also, I don't know why there still is a test for cannabis, considering we're at where we're at in this world. But yeah. So I'm real confused on how this happened. And yeah, it doesn't quite make sense. Like, you're telling me she's the only Olympic athlete that tested positive for cannabis? You're telling me she's the only one? This doesn't seem right. Something's not right. I'm calling bullshit.
So, okay, so I was a little bit confused about the dates to this. So technically, the 30-day ban should get backdated to whatever the time of the actual result came, like when the testing of it, not when the result came back. So the 30 days starts whenever the test was given, which means that she could be cleared to race by the 4x100 meter relay, because that's always towards the end and the 100 starts at the beginning. So she could still be in the Olympics, but the USATF would have to select her and bring her back out there, and that doesn't seem likely. She could also appeal any sanction to the Court of Arbitration for Sport, but so could anybody else if they thought that she deserved more of a punishment. So it really sucks for someone.
It's really unfortunate.
She's 21. She just came out. She was banging. This was the best chance of a female from the USA to win the 100-meter dash in probably 20 years, if not more. It's not something that happens all the time for us. And she was looking really, really, really good. And it's a shame that, people who put their bodies through so much and typically use cannabis as something to help them through pains and soreness, and even mentally, a lot of these people that perform at this level of competition go through crazy emotions.
Oh, dude, can you imagine how, like, not to be, but can you imagine how messed up some of those brains are? Where it's your whole life is
100%.
Your whole life since you were 3 years old are just dedicated to one thing in your life.
So instead of instead of being on
painkillers
and stuff to just happy pills and all that. If you're smoking a little weed is what helps you, you shouldn't get banned from the Olympics. This is what I was saying.
Lets you relax the first time in your life.
The same thing with when the Michael Phelps that picture came out. I was like, well, if this dude can smoke weed and be the best swimmer that's ever existed, then I don't think it's that bad of a thing. Like if this girl can be 21, be smoking weed, and win the U.S. Olympic trials in the 100-meter dash, then maybe it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. Just to put this in perspective, which is more of why I'm so confused right now than anything. So, tests nowadays 150 nanograms per milliliter of carboxy THC. That's the minimum. As I said, you could basically be high as a kite going into that test and probably pass that, because 150 is insane. There was one other time where someone got a metal stripped from them due to THC. Canada's Ross Gelati, something, I don't know. In 1998, was stripped of the first ever Olympic gold for snowboarding after his urine tested positive for THC. He eventually got his medal back after pointing out that cannabis at the time wasn't actually classified as a banned substance. But every year since, cannabinoids have appeared on the official prohibited list put out annually by the World Anti-Doping Agency.
This man,
this man,
really like that. That's funny.
This man got his gold medal back. You want to know what he tested for? 17.8 nanograms per milliliter. The threshold was 15 at the time. He tested for 17.8.
So you smoke like
our racer woman, she had to test for over 150. He tested for 17.8.
Yeah, well, I like that they took
and he got a gold medal strip from him, and then got it back.
Well, yeah, they took away the medal, and he goes, actually, you didn't even say I couldn't do this. And they're like, oh, yeah, here you go. Sorry about that.
Actually, bro.
You didn't even, they're like,
that medal's mine.
Hey, you tested positive for weed. And he's like, well, yeah, but you didn't say I couldn't.
Yeah, but you said it.
You say you're
Give me my medal back, bitch. But I just think that's crazy. Like, man, why are we still doing this, athletes? Why do we do this? Why do we not let them just smoke weed? Like, come on. Steroids, I get it. Painkillers, I get it. Like, yep, I get all that. But weed, really? Like, you don't. What's the worst thing to do? They're gonna eat a pizza and hug someone. Like, come on. It's not. Oh God, so sick and tired of.
I mean,
THC laws.
I suppose there could be, in some way, some kind of enhancing to performance. You know, maybe some like for real. Like maybe.
Jason said it rolls his blunt on that gold medal now.
Dude,
I would. Are you kidding? They strip a gold medal from you and then you get it back? I'd be like, I am never not smoking off this gold medal ever in my life.
I saw love. He's like, dude, I'm not even getting tested for this.
Like, you assholes, give me my medal back.
All right, it's controversy hour. We still got 15 minutes to fill. Do we have any more?
Oh, we've got to have more controversies. We always have controversies.
Oh, yeah. Jalen Harris. Let's bring it to the NBA.
Yeah.
Jalen Harris. Toronto Raptors guard. He's a rookie. 22 years old. He just got popped. He's banned from the NBA. He's banned forever. No, okay. Listen. Banned forever. He's done. He's out. Forget the name. All right, now the real thing. What's probably going to happen. He's eligible to apply for reinstatement in 1 year. And that's about it. Would you like
What did he do?
Would you like to hear the article?
Yes.
The NBA announced Thursday that Toronto Raptors guard Jalen Harris has been banned following a violation of the league's anti-drug program. The 22-year-old is eligible to apply for reinstatement in 1 year. And then they just described his stats for the season. And that's it.
So what did he take?
We don't know. I've been looking all around, and he is just out forever.
Well, NBA doesn't have a THC thing.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So
it's gotta be PEDs, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe.
So they have a strict anti-drug policy. Yeah. But so they softened their stance on marijuana. They have a 3-strike policy for that. But so he didn't have any. Yeah, he didn't have any strikes yet. That was known. However, they only have 1 strike for any drug of abuse. Now, what that is defining, I'm not sure. But listed ones include in CBA cocaine, ketamine, LSD, like bends, opiates, all that kind of stuff.
So cocaine, opiate, or LSD?
Yeah, I mean that's. Yeah.
Poor guy tripped out and then got.
Yeah, so the NBA is not able to divulge any specifics on this failed drug test yet, but I believe those are all the ones actually listed on the CBA as drugs of abuse that would be handled in this nature. It's either coke, ketamine, benzodiazepines, and opiates.
That one. I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it was probably cocaine.
No, I'm
He's a
gonna say
rookie.
it's probably opiates, dude.
You think so?
But probably someone just got a little painkiller in there.
Yeah.
Because
I
I
mean,
don't know.
He's a rookie. He just started making some money. I could see how it could happen. I don't think he needs to be banned for that though. I mean, the NHL has like a lot of cocaine people, and they don't give a shit. So
Yeah. So it seems like essentially after a year he'll be able to be reinstated very, very easily. It's not gonna be like a whole thing of
that sucks though.
Yeah, it does suck. So,
Lay off
normally
the drugs if you can't take drugs.
yeah, normally
It's the
any
deuce.
NBA player who either goes through their three weed strikes or their one drug of abuse strike, normally they get a 2-year. Because Harris was a rookie, his was only 1 year, so that's a good thing that they do.
That's a nice, yeah.
That's a good thing they changed.
Wait, you only get 3 strikes for weed. So how many does J.R. Smith have? 25. How the hell
Well,
is
dude,
this man still playing?
it's time where you're formally caught in your drug test, where like you know what I mean, like.
I'm just saying, J.R. Smith shows up to the court high. Like, how is this man not testing positive?
As long as they don't test him. You can't test positive if you don't take a test, you know?
This is true. I
If you
suppose
don't-
the random drug testing probably doesn't really apply
Yeah,
in the NBA.
if J.R. Smith
no
is
really-
high every day and he only takes 2 drug tests, that's 2 strikes.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
2 strikes. He's fine.
Yeah, so he only played in 13 games. He's kind of had a big end of the season. He was averaging 18.5 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists in his final 4 games of the season, where he made
Damn.
2 starts and a 31-point performance in the last game of the season. We're set to be a restricted free agent. This will not help him in that for now.
Uh-oh. That actually may end his basketball career. which
Well,
would
the
suck.
Raptors will retain his rights though.
Okay.
So if after he serves the suspension, he will be basically in the same spot as a restricted free agent as he was right now at the end of the season. So that does help because if he was just an unrestricted free agent, you're probably right. I think he'd be done. Luckily, he still has
okay.
a bit of a connection somewhere to go.
Well, that's good. Don't let the man lose his job. Come on now. It was just a little snow. It's all good. It's just celebrating.
Something. I don't.
Huh?
It might not be. I don't know what it is.
It might not be. It could be worse.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you read that list, you're like, okay,
It's to be
see,
fair,
I can
like-
see why action has to be taken for some of
Yes.
these.
Yes, exactly. And honestly, even with a little snow, like, hey, you're in the NBA. You can't do it. Don't do it. You
Right.
dumbass.
Can't figure out anything else to do.
You can probably
Yeah.
smoke as much weed as you want, but just don't do hard drugs. You little silly goose.
Yeah.
1050.
1050.
Who's your third round pick for fantasy football this year?
Third round.
Yeah.
I'm a big proprietor of running back third round. I typically go down that route.
I might go running back first too, and I might be the person this year that drops the first QB.
I'm never that guy.
My league is really quarterback hungry though. Lamar.
Yeah, let's talk
Lamar
fantasy.
and
Oh,
Lamar
yeah.
and Patty. So, is it reasonable for Lamar and Patty to go round 1 or round 2?
I would never.
I would never.
I never would.
However,
I would
the winner of my league the past 3 years have had either Lamar or Patty on their team.
That's fine. I'm sure they would. You know, he's really good, but just not worth it for me. I just can't do it, even if it's the correct thing to do. I
know,
take
and-
Pat Mahomes third round. That's what I say. If he's their third, which he's never is, I will take him.
No.
Because there's so much value in like the 5th round you can get.
I know.
5th round's my quarterback round.
That's normally I normally wait till the 7th. Honestly, I wait for a while. I normally get the Matthew Staffords, the Matt Ryans,
See, that's the thing. Like, I just want upper echelon.
upper,
but
yeah.
barely. I'll take like a 5
of
and
mediocre.
then like an 8, 9, somewhere like.
See,
down
that's the
there
thing
as a
though,
backup.
because and the reason I'm so, take a quarterback late is because there's normally so many good ones.
Mhm.
And there's really none that, it used to be back 5-6 years ago, it was like, well, Tom Brady's pretty good. Cam Newton's pretty good. But other than that, there's nothing really that stands out as far as fantasy QBs. But in the
I
past
don't
3 years, I mean, there's always been there's been good ones. But in the past 3 years, Lamar and Patty are putting up an average of like 30 plus points a game. And at that point, that's almost it might be worth reaching for one of them. If you can get a guaranteed 30 points out of a player, I think they're worth a first round take.
Well, let me put it this way. I would never take him first. I would probably consider taking Pat second. I've never had the opportunity, just the way my board lays out.
Yeah.
Last year, I believe I went wide receiver, running back, because I had 10.
I went running back last year.
Yeah, see, you never know. You have the plan, but then you see the way it falls out. And
oh no, I didn't go running back. I think I went running back, wide receiver.
No, everyone who plays with knows what they're doing?
For the most, they either know what they're doing or they have someone else run their team who knows what they're doing, which pisses me off, and I'm ready to kick them all out. But here we are.
All right, so I was gonna probably like half of my league knows football, half of it maybe not as much. And I've noticed that, how like ESPN will rank.
Do you guys have a buy-in?
Yeah. Not a cheap little for fun.
We're up in our buy-in so that people care more this year.
Yeah. We don't like $5-10. But this one, it's like, how like ESPN, they tell you like, oh, these are the next best available.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this is why I never do quarterback early, because the quarterback one is always the most incorrect.
It is. It very much is.
So I just wait. Pat goes, Lamar goes. A couple seconds happen, then like Russ goes, A-Rod, all that, and then Deshaun, Kyler, well, Deshaun maybe.
Yeah.
And so then you're sitting there,
this year.
And then everyone, I've had Kyler every year, bro. He's my keeper.
My keepers are not. I'm at the end of my ropes with all my keepers. Nick Chubb has to go back on draft board. It's disappointing. I've had him for 2 years and now I'm sad.
Dude, I always feel like, because then they don't know what they're talking about. They're like, oh, word, I'm going to take a quarterback. Now I'll just click the next best one. And then they take like 4 really bad quarterbacks. And a couple rounds later, I snag someone who's actually good.
I think I can't justify Patty Mahomes or Lamar going first round. I can justify Patty going second. I can't justify Lamar going second. Not this year.
I also agree with
Lamar third, however, I could see. But see, if I had like the 12th and the 13th pick, like because we have a 12-man league, if I have the 12th and the 13th, I am going running back Patty. I think that would be such a prime.
I don't know if you could.
I don't know if you could.
Pat went 5th overall in my draft last year.
Yeah.
Like, there was no question about it. It was he's off the board already. Thanks, guy.
He was a keeper. He's been a keeper in our league for the past 2 years because the kid who first grabbed him got him off waivers that in his first year. Got him off waivers. And so we got him for 2 more years, and now he's back on the draft board. So we haven't seen – my league hasn't drafted a Patty Mahomes yet.
That's what I always say, too. I'll get a vet quarterback either, like, if there's a really good one at 5 or 6, someone who's, like, real good. And then what you said, like, if not, get him, like, 8. And then just get, like, a rookie or a second-year guy.
Well, see, I
have like, 12, 13.
I'm also intrigued what to do with the quarterback this year because I do have Joey Burrow if I want to keep him. I don't necessarily have to keep him, but I do have that option if I want it. And I'm like, man, he was on my team last year, and I started him when he was playing. I started him almost every week because he was that good.
But, like, like last year I got Rodgers in, like, the 6th or the 7th.
Mm-hmm.
And then I
that's late.
Then I got Herbert in, like, the 12th.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I was set for the year. That was it.
Yep. That was
I got Herbert was on the waivers. I didn't need to draft that dude. That was Tyrod's team at that point.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, no. And that's why I always say
got stabbed in the lung.
You can get a QB off waivers. But however, I think Patty Mahomes and Lamar Jackson have definitely changed the quarterback thing a little bit. At least Patty Mahomes for sure has changed the quarterback thing because before Patty Mahomes, I don't remember a quarterback consistently going first or second round every year. Like that was unheard of. If you took a quarterback before Patty Mahomes in the first or second round, you were an idiot. Besides maybe Russ.
Highest scoring fantasy quarterback seasons of all time. Ready?
Yep.
Number 1, Peyton Manning in 2013. The greatest season by a quarterback ever, potentially.
Was that his big Broncos year? Yeah, okay.
Yes. 528.7 points for the season, 33.04 points per game, 5,400 or 55. We'll get the exact 5,477 passing yards, 55 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. No one ever talks about the negative 31 rush yards though.
Oh really? Those got to be knees. Those got to
all be knees. Yeah. 31 knees and 1 rushing touchdown. Number 2 was Patty Mahomes in his big year, 2018. Yep. He was averaging 32.27 fantasy points, which is crazy. That goes 33 and then 32.2 is next. That's a pretty big drop off per game.
That is considering
just over 5,000 yards, 50 touchdowns. Now, remember how I just want to put in perspective that Peyton Manning season, because remember how crazy that Pat Mahomes' season was. Like that was insane. It was like impossible. It was like I can't
remember
believe...
Peyton Manning didn't even play that last game. He threw his 2 touchdown passes and threw for like 100 yards to get the record, and then they pulled him out. And then they pulled him out. I remember they almost tried to take it away from him because the last pass he threw was to who was the Tiers running back on Broncos? What was his name? Freeman. No.
In 2013,
the guy, remember during the national anthem he cried and his tears like came flooding down his face. That guy. He was on Royce Freeman. Is that who it is? No.
That's a guy.
It is a guy. What's his name?
Now
I gotta look it up. Damn it. 2013.
Was it Sean Marino?
Sean Marino.
Wait, is it actually?
That's who it was. Yes, it was Sean Marino.
I always loved Sean, man.
So the final play.
It's a shame what happened to him.
I forget what happened. He just kind of dropped off there.
Yeah, he just got hurt. He just kept getting hurt, and he couldn't stay. And then
he was really good too.
Yep.
Anyways, the final pass of Peyton's record breaker was to Sean Marino, and it was just an out route. It was just a little out route from Sean. And they had to review it over and over, and they almost pulled the record away from him because they almost determined it was a backwards pass. So it was actually a pitch. And they were going to try and strip Peyton Manning of that record that year. And everyone's like, are you fucking kidding me? He could have just played the other half of that game and easily broken the record by another 200 yards. You assholes.
But here's Pat Mahomes' 2018 season, right? Amazing. Yep. Everyone's like, holy moly. Now imagine if he threw 2 less interceptions, 5 more touchdowns, and 450 more yards. And that's Peyton Manning's season in 2013. So there you go.
And take away a game from that too, because Peyton Manning really didn't play the last game, which is just nuts.
Yeah.
I don't know.
This top 10's interesting. So there's Pat. Tom Brady, 2007 is the 3rd best, where he averaged 31 fantasy points per game. 4,800 yards, 50 tuds, 8 interceptions. Lamar's 2019 was next. He averaged 32.6.
Drew Brees has got to be.
These are not in order. Okay, now they're in order. Okay, that was weird. Drew Brees is coming up. 3,100 yards, 36 tuds, 6 interceptions, another 1,200 rush yards, another 7 rushing touchdowns. Rodgers, 2011 was 32.3 fantasy points per game, bunch of yards and touchdowns. Then number 6 was 2011 Breeze. 5,400 yards, 46 touchdowns. Yeah. 2015 Cam is at 7.
He was nuts.
Yeah.
That was an insane. I feel like he never got less than like 25 points that year.
He averaged 29.
Yeah.
So there you go. And then 8 is Aaron Rodgers in 2016. He is our first repeat customer. Then Peyton in 2004. And then here's a fun one for your boy. This one's for you, Eric. Dante Culpepper, 2004.
Oh, no way.
Number 10. 28.16 fantasy points per game. 4,700 yards, 39 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 406 additional rush yards, and 2 more rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, but how many fumbles?
Does not say on this particular
Dante
list.
Culpepper, the smallest hands of any
Hey,
quarterback
that's a
ever.
big point loss though if you're a quarterback and you fumble. So maybe not too many that year. Maybe
No, I guarantee. What was the year?
2004.
That man fumbled the ball so much.
I'm just gonna start. So after Culpepper goes Brady, Luck, Breeze, Steve Young, Breeze, Rogers, Matt Ryan, Stafford, Tom Brady, Wilson, Breeze, Newton, Culpepper. Culpepper's on there again.
Hang on. I just looked up Dante Culpepper fumbles.
Mm-hmm.
There's the football database, Minnesota Vikings career fumble leaders. Number 1, Dante Culpepper, 81. Next closest, he had 81 fumbles in 82 games. Next closest, Frank Tarkenton, 177 games with 17 less fumbles.
That's so funny.
81
2004?
fumbles in 82 games.
Also, what was 2000? Because 2000 was the 25th best fantasy season.
All right, hang on.
So there you go.
Is it going to tell me here? 2004 fumbles. Where's fumbles? Fumbles. Wait. Yeah. He had fumbles. I don't understand. Oh, fumbles. Here we go. 2004, he had 9. 2000, he had 6. 11. 11, and that's so many fumbles,
That's
though.
a lot. That's a lot.
In 2002, he had 20.
I was gonna say, so there must
fumbles.
be a year with This
is from the year 2000 to 2004. He had 11 fumbles, 16 fumbles, 23 fumbles, 16 fumbles, 9 fumbles. This man played in 106 games, started in 100, and had 102 fumbles in his career.
That's insane.
That's absurd. I remember it was literally every game he would fumble. He would fumble multiple times a game sometimes.
Yep,
he had the smallest. He had the hands of like a 5'8" human being.
He has 2 of the best. 2 of the top 25 QB seasons of all time in fantasy. So
that's so funny. He recovered a lot of his own fumbles, actually.
Russ, Brady, Kurt Warner's at 28, Big Ben at 29, then Luck, Rogers, Jeff Garcia, number 32 for San Francisco. Right. Dak at 33, Russell Wilson, Blake Bortles at 35. Blake Bortles is the 35th best fantasy season of all time. Keep in mind that there are at least 32 seasons every year. So
Stephanie said that Dante needed some sticky stuff.
He needed
Just to put that into perspective, you know how Kirk Cousins fumbles the ball a lot?
Yeah.
He has a fumbling problem?
Yeah,
Dante Culpepper, 82 games, 81 fumbles. Kirk is 47 games and only 28 fumbles.
Wait, dude, can we listen
How do you fumble once a game in your whole career? That's insane.
Now, remember I was saying that Blake Bortles is actually really good?
Yeah.
Listen to this season stat line, dude. Listen to this season stat line.
Is this the year that he went to AFC Championship?
Yes, the 25th.
Didn't he beat the Titans that year?
Wait, this might be before. This might have been 2 years before. This is 2015. This isn't even that season, dude. This is just when he was living his life.
2015, not the season.
I believe that was 2017.
Oh, damn.
He had 4,400 yards, 35 tuds, 18 interceptions.
I mean, that's like a Teddy Bridgewater year.
Bro, Teddy Bridgewater never threw for 4,500 yards. Or 35
Did you say 4,500?
Yeah, 4,535 touchdowns.
Oh, I thought you said something else. Never mind.
No,
that's a hell of a stat line there.
So that wasn't
Teddy
even
Bridgewater
a good season. Shit. And then Deshaun Payton, Carson Palmer gets in there, Jared Goff gets in there, Luck, Breeze, Ryan, Big Ben, Peyton, Breeze, Jameis at number 48, the 30 for 30 season is the 48th best. And then Deshaun Watson and Drew Brees rounds it out.
Not even good. These are not even
That's
good
all
seasons
of them
anymore.
I mean, yeah, some of them more. It's all about the points, you know. It's fantasy points, different lens, different.
By the way, before we get to the bets, I would just, since Teddy Bridgewater got hung up, I'm just gonna leave the fellas with this little nugget. You remember that year that everyone's like, "Oh, Teddy Bridgewater is so good because he made the Pro Bowl," blah 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 blah. 2,900 yards, 14 touchdowns, 12 interceptions with an 85 QB rating. That's what people base Teddy Bridgewater being good off of. Oh, hang on. But the next season, he was even better when he made the Pro Bowl again, right? Oh yeah, he threw for 3,200 yards, 14 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions that year. Wow, what an awesome QB that somehow everyone thought was way better than they are. I'd flip you off. LOL between y'all and Matt from Matty Covers. I've heard it all. He's a Carson fan too. Yeah, well, that's just because he's delusional Eagles fan. See, I'm unbiased.
Yeah, and you agree with me.
I know Carson Wentz.
You're a bias and you agree.
Carson Wentz for MVP, greatest future of the NFL season this year. Just pointing that out. All right, we need to get to bets. It is 11:08. I heard you making some new beats last night. You got one?
Was I?
I heard something. I heard a loop of something going on.
Oh, yeah, I was doing
Maybe.
something.
I guess it's date. I guess we have to wait for next week for it to debut. I heard you cooking in the kitchen.
Was I cooking? Yeah, I was.
You were cooking. I heard it. I was gonna say I heard a loop. I don't know
if I saved it. I don't know. Maybe we will get it. We'll get the fresh loop. Sometimes I forget. Wow, I think I forgot to save it.
Wow, it was kind of fire too. I'm not.
I remember. I liked it. Oh, that's unfortunate.
All right, kick it to a break. We'll see you on the other side. Give us 4 or 5 minutes, get set, and then bets are starting.
Yep.
And we have WNBA tonight. Don't forget.
Oh boy. Yep. Oh boy. Fellas,
Fellas,
back.
it's betting time. Our favorite time of the day, and it's Friday.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna be a great day. I'm gonna start with the NHL. We're just gonna get right into it.
All right.
We have Game 3 of the Lightning Canadiens Stanley Cup Finals tonight. We are 3-0 so far in the Stanley Cup Finals. Going to make it 4-0 tonight. So I'll just tell you guys my thought process going into this game and what I see right now. Thought process going into this game: Lightning are a better team than Montreal. I've been saying it all week. I know that people have said, quite a few people have said, Tampa Bay is a little bit overrated. Canadians are a little bit underrated. I think that that's fair. However, as Sean explained yesterday, we have an overrated team and an underrated team, and that's fine because the underrated team's here and the overrated team's actually here, and we still have a better team than the other team. That's what's happening right here. I said Lightning in 5. I still think that holds true. I do think the Canadians grab one here back in Montreal. I don't know if it'll be Game 3 or Game 4. However, I was going into this game fully accepting maybe putting money on the Canadians, maybe putting money on the Lightning, depending on how the money goes. But the money and tickets are split right down the middle at 50-50. And the Lightning getting minus 132 is just too good of a line to pass up. I understand Montreal's at home. They're going to play hard. They're going to play fast. They're going to play physical. Their chemistry is good. However, like I said yesterday and the day before that, the Lightning have a better goalie. They have a better defense. They have a better offense. They have a better power play. They just have all the pieces that they need to beat this team. Give me Lightning regular money line or in regulation if you don't want to play the juice at minus 132, which is what they're getting right now. Full disclosure, I could see the Canadians stealing this game, absolutely. But at the end of the day, you bet on the better team, and
That's
the Lightning
value,
are just
man.
yeah
If
at
there
minus
was a little
132.
better value on the Canadians, then it might be the game to take them. But
Tell me one time this entire playoffs that you wouldn't take the Lightning when they're showing 132.
never.
Besides, honestly, the only
First
team,
round, probably.
Yep, the only team I have bet against the Lightning so far in the playoffs has been the
Flow
Islanders.
ride.
Has been the Islanders twice because I really thought the
The
Islanders matched up
value is
against them
there
well.
too, though.
And the Panthers. The
Yep,
Panthers were the
Flow
only
Rida.
other team I would bet against them because Hurricanes absolutely not, and the Canadians I just don't think it's worth laying a line on the Canadians, especially when they're only plus 114 tonight.
You can
If
get
you
them at
wanted to
better
lay-
odds, especially
Yeah,
if
if
they
you
lose
wanted to
tonight
lay-
and then get them at good odds at home next one.
Yes, if they do end up losing this one, I think I do like the Canadians going into the next one.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think they steal one. I think the Lightning win it in Game 5 at home. But yeah, you just can't bet against them right now. They're just the better team. That's just how it is. So either Lightning in regulation or Lightning regular money line if you're okay with playing the juice. The minus 1.5 plus 1.5 actually split as well. So nothing there. The total looks like the under is getting smashed pretty hard at 70%. I don't have a play for the total. I would think probably over. I think Canadians can get a couple on Vasilevsky on the road, but I think the Lightnings will get 4 or 5 themselves.
There you go.
Moving on. Do we not have? We don't have NBA tonight. No. I don't know why I thought we did. That sucks.
That sucks.
Anyways, on to all right. Where is my? I need to start writing these baseball things down because we fucking kill it on the show in baseball every day, and then I only take a couple plays in VIP, and I need to start personally betting a lot more because we absolutely annihilate baseball on this show. We did yesterday too. Well, all those half those props hit. Actually, more than half those props hit. Today for MLB, we have late starts today. No early games. Thank you. 6:05. We have Padres on the road getting plus 105. Phillies at home getting minus 121. Looks like 54% of tickets on the Padres, 64% of money on the Padres. Let's check out. Hang on.
Oh, hey. So, fun fact for everyone that notices something different at home. We're using BetUS as the book today to look at. And here's a cool little thing, dude. Right on the front page, you actually get your TTOs.
Oh, that's
See
nice.
that? You see that run line, money line, total, and team total.
Ah, that makes your job a lot easier.
Hell yeah! Thank you, BetUS.
Honestly,
I might go deposit with them to get a 125% bonus using the link in the description because it helps you out and it helps out the fellas.
true.
We need
Honestly,
to eat.
we live in a legal betting state, so like it's really easy to use
Yeah,
DraftKings and
yeah.
Fox Bet and all the
We
things.
have options.
We have options. Honestly, I have been placing personal bets, a lot of personal bets through that book just because the odds are actually better than what I've
Yeah,
seen on DraftKings and
we
other
looked at
things.
the Dirty Socks was I think plus 130 something on DraftKings and it was like 50 something right on
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
BetUS and that was just
Yep.
that wasn't even we weren't even trying to sell it. We sold it by accident, you know. That's pretty
I
crazy.
know.
The Dirty Socks likes the BetUS. That means we like BetUS.
True. But no, truly, if you guys need some better lines or anything, it's a quick deposit. It's a $50 minimum. It's really,
You know.
it's been a good book so far. I have had no problem.
Hey,
with it.
if you have any crypto, if you have a bunch of crypto tied up and you want to get rid of it because it's going down the doo-doo drain, throw it into BetUS. I think you get 150% bonus with crypto instead of cards.
I think I did. I think I
try
did see
that too. If you have
Try
some,
that out.
if you got your Doge laying around and now it's worth, or do you think they accept your Shiba Inu coin?
They definitely will accept my Shiba Inu.
Yeah, I don't even think you can gamble with
Shiba
that.
Inu crypto.
I don't even think you can buy drugs with that on the black dark web.
They're like, no, we're not accepting
They're
this.
like, what is that?
Phillies, Padres. Phillies got Wheeler on the mound. He's a great pitcher. He's definitely their ace. He's been pretty much lights out so far, especially at home. He is a 2.2 ERA with a .97 WHIP. Paddock is pitching for the Padres today with a 4.09 ERA and a 1.27 WHIP. Looks like Paddock will go 4 to 5 innings. Wheeler will go 6 to 8, depending on how he's doing. He's been absolutely incredible lately. Yeah, Wheeler in his last three is a 1.69 ERA with a 1.37. Actually, his WHIP is much higher in his last three for some reason. Anyways, but at home, it's a .77 WHIP, only a 2 flat ERA. Paddock, it's pretty much the same at home and away, but in his last three, he has struggled. He's up to a 6 ERA in his last three and up to a 1.73 WHIP. Let's see who he's been pitching against. Yeah, so he started the season. The first 5 games, he went 0-0, 1-1-1 earned runs, and now in his last 5, he's gone 5-3, 2-2-5. One was against the Mets, who do not have good bats. Another one was against the Mets, who do not have good bats. The Cubs, who have okay bats, and then Arizona, who does not have good bats. So he definitely gets shelled by teams that should not be shelling him at times. Good strikeout guy, doesn't walk a lot, doesn't give up many home runs though. So I like the Phillies in this one, and I think I like the under in this one because I trust Wheeler a lot. What's the? Hang on, I can just see it on our stream. Is that under for Padres 3.5?
Yeah.
Is that what I'm seeing here?
Minus 115, 3.5.
You know what's really weird?
What?
They're giving 3.5 to both of those teams, yet the over/under set
Is
at
it 8.5?
That's strange.
Very strange. And look at those odds. They're not even that weird. Like they're not juiced at all. They're pretty
Yeah, besides the
standard.
3.5 for Phillies. Yeah, all right. I'm leaning Phillies on this one. I like them at home. I don't think Paddock is a great pitcher. Maybe Phillies team total over. The only thing that scares me is the Padres do have a very, very, very solid bullpen. Actually, the number 1 ERA in the league. Phillies, on the other hand, have a borderline bottom 10 bullpen. So yeah, I lean Phillies team total over, and I lean Phillies to win this one. But don't know if that's official. But I am going to write it down because I have been not writing these down, and we've been winning way too many. All right. Ow. Second game, 7:05. We have the Pirates at home taking on the Brewers on the road. Looks like, what are we getting here on DraftKings? We are getting I can never find the game that I want. Thank you. There it is. Pirates getting plus 105 on the road. Brewers getting minus 122. Or sorry, at home. Brewers getting minus 122 on the road. 61% of tickets on the Brewers, 57% of money. Let's check out the pitchers. We got Brubaker versus Hauser. Brubaker's on the mound for Pittsburgh. He's got a 3.8 ERA with a 1.13 whip. It's actually a pretty solid pitcher. Hauser is a 4.16 ERA with a 1.4 whip, so a little bit not as good. That whip is getting a little bit up there. CB, I'd be curious to know how the Padres do traveling east. Interesting. I didn't think about that. Have they not been good on the east, CB? Do you know something I don't know? Hang on. Let me get into the pitchers here a little bit. The over-under is set at 7.5. That's pretty low. Is this a back-to-back? It's a 7 inning that I'm not seeing. It's not. All right. So over-under set at 7.5, which seems kind of low considering both pitchers are not incredible. And this is the Pittsburgh Pirates we're talking about here. Pitchers in their last 3, looks like Brubaker's been pretty much on pace for what he's been all season. He is a better pitcher at home, however, with a 2.67 ERA and only a 0.92 whip. Hauser on the road, basically the same as he is at home. However, in his last 3, he's gone up to a 6 ERA with a 1.62 whip. So Hauser's been getting housed a bit. I'm looking at who he's been going against. Colorado diced him up a little bit. Colorado diced him up again. They did play Pittsburgh not too long ago. He pitched pretty well against Pittsburgh. However, gave up 7 hits still. Looks like he's going to go for 5 innings. That's normally what he does. Yeah, he's very sporadic. Normally always gives up a run. He's going to walk quite a few people. He walks a shitload of people. So give me Pittsburgh Pirates team total over is 3.5.
Yep, minus 110.
I like that.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh Pirates team total over. I like it. Now, I hate putting bets on the Pirates. However, they are at home. Yeah, they are at home. They tend to play a lot better at home. Their bats have not been great lately. But I like this. I like the situation they're in. Let's go to Dodgers Nationals, also at 7:05. Looks like we have a great pitching matchup tonight in Max Scherzer versus Julio Urias. We've got Nationals getting plus 100 at home, Dodgers getting minus 117 on the road. 60% of tickets on the Nationals, however, 60% of money on the Dodgers. So we're seeing a pretty good split there. Let's go into Scherzer versus Urias. Urias is a 3.95 ERA with a 1.07 whip, and Scherzer is a 2.14 ERA with a 0.85 whip. He has been dominating this season. Urias is 9-3, Scherzer's 7-4. Washington 24-19 at home, Dodgers 22-18 on the road. We got a very similar matchup here. See how Urias has been on the road. Sorry. Urias has been struggling in his last 3. He got shelled by the Padres. That's who it was. Really struggled against Padres. However, away, he's actually a little bit better than he is at home. Scherzer, on the other hand, great pitcher at home and away. Even better at home, with his whip being down to a 0.68 at home. Last 3, his whip's gone up a little bit, but his ERA has stayed relatively low at a 1.59. Surprising to me that the game total's at 8.
Yeah. Again, the 8 and the 3.5s. At least it doesn't got the minus 140 and minus 130. Makes a little more sense, but still.
What do I want to do here? I want to see how bats have been for Washington. See, Washington has been playing, I feel like, a lot better, even though they have won 7 of the last 10, so yeah, they have been playing a lot better. But their offense has been pretty good too. 2-15, and that 2 came in a 5-run game yesterday, so it's not really a 2-run game. 15, 4, 8, 5, 2, 2, 7, 13, 3. Mm-hmm. Their team total is set at what? 3.5 over minus 130. Quick check. Padres 9-11 in non-West Coast games. Interesting. Actually, that's probably. Oh no, that's not. That's. So they don't like traveling, huh? That's an interesting stat. I didn't know that. However, I guess I could have guessed that because I know their away record is not very good at all. So that does make sense. Anyways, I don't know if I have a play for this Nationals Dodgers game. I really believe in Max Scherzer, especially at home. However, the team they're going against is called the Dodgers, and that team is very good at baseball. They're very good. Number 5 offense, number 3 defense. So I think this is a stay away game. I lean the under, but I could see Arias getting blown up, and I could see the Nationals bullpen also getting blown up. So I think that's just a stay away. Let's see. What do we got next? Walker versus Montgomery. We have Mets versus Yankees. What are our odds here? Mets, Yankees. On DraftKings, we've got Yankees at home getting -152. Mets on the road getting +128. 61% of tickets on the Yankees. 87% of money on the Yankees. Boy, do I love.
Oh, it's all the way down here. I found it.
Wow. Okay. ERAs, Walker's 2.38 ERA with a 1.03 whip. Montgomery, 4 for Yankees. Montgomery, 4.06 ERA, 1.2 whip. Both whips relatively low. However, Montgomery's ERA is up a little bit, maybe a little deceiving. Both pitchers going to go for 5 or 6 innings. What do we got here? Walker in his last 3 has a 3.44 ERA with a 1.04 whip. Pretty solid. Does decent on the road. Not as good as he does at home. Jordan Montgomery is a great home pitcher with a 2.61 ERA and a 0.94 whip. However, in his last 3, he's gone up a little bit. 4.32 ERA, 1.44 whip. I don't. Okay. Here we go. Underdog of the day. Give me the Mets. Sorry. That's my underdog play of the day so far. Mets money line. Anytime I see the Yankees get stacked on above like 85%, it already makes me want to take the other side because every single time they've gotten stacked on this season, they lose.
Yeah.
I don't know why people always stack on the Yankees still. Let's remember they're 41-39 this season, and playing their money line for $100 every game this season would net you a loss of -$2,000. So
that's bad.
Stop betting on the Yankees. I don't understand why people keep betting on the Yankees. It's not worth it. We saw them absolutely rip apart Shohei Ohtani the other day, but still lose 11-8. Their bullpen is trash. Their pitching's trash. They take strikeouts just because they want to hit home runs. It's just not the team you want. Their defense is ranked 10th, which is probably the lowest I've seen the Yankees defense ranked in a while. And their offense is ranked 25th, which is definitely the worst I've seen their offense ranked in a long time. It's not worth taking bets on the Yankees. If anything, you stay away from this game, but give me the Mets as underdogs because I don't understand why they're necessarily underdogs in this game. It should be damn near pick 'em. So give me the Mets for just value in general. Next, is that all? 707 game. Did I get all the 705s? Yeah, I got them.
Yep.
707 Rays Blue Jays. This is gonna be a great game. Blue Jays -118 at home. Rays +102 on the road. Blue Jays getting 67% of tickets, 80% of money, which is surprising because the Rays are a good team. I'm guessing we have a pretty good pitching matchup today. Oh, we don't know who the Rays pitcher is going to be. That makes sense. Alek Manoah is pitching
Bet
for...
US says it's El Patino.
Oh, really? Oh, thank you, Bet US. Let me find out more about El Patino then. Let's see here. Whoever that guy is. Let's see here. Manoah is pitched just a couple games this season. He is a 3.34 ERA and a it's not going to show me his whip. Hang on. Doesn't want to show me his whip. 1.11 whip, which is very good. He's pitched in 6 games so far this year. Just kind of started in late May. He's been 0.41150 ERA, so either he's going to have a great game or he's going to blow up a bit. I don't know which one that's going to be, but with the Toronto getting stacked on the money, I'm going to guess it might be the blow-up one. The The Rays have just been kind of inconsistent on their defense recently. They've given up 15, 4, 6, 3, 3, 0, 2, 9, 6, 6. So not impressive. However, their bats have been working just fine. 6, 3, 4, 13, 4, 1, 8, 5, 2, 5. So Yankees equals overrated. Yes, CB. Yankees equals so overrated. It is unbelievable. And I don't understand why people keep betting on them besides the fact that their name is the Yankees. I don't get it. I've even seen some of the cappers that I genuinely trust and like and everything, and they're probably smarter than we are, put money on the Yankees sometimes. And I'm like, what are you doing? It's just not worth it. But yeah, I'm sure they probably win some of them, so I can't talk about shit. I don't really know what to do here. I think this is probably a stay away. The over-under is set at 10, which is crazy to me. I would think the under hits in that. However, the Blue Jays bats do scare me a lot. Depending on, we do know the pitcher, right? Gibson or Patino?
Yep.
Patino. I need to find Patino. Hang on. You know what? No, that's a stay away game. I don't want to touch it. I don't, because the Rays were streaking for a while, and I don't trust them. And then remember, Toronto is still playing in a minor league ballpark. Take the over. I forgot that they're playing in that fucking place. That's a good point.
That's why it's at 10, I suppose.
That's why it's at 10. Can you go back to Toronto's team total over real quick?
It's 4.5, and the over is -120.
Okay. That may be a spot that we should look today, everyone. Blue Jays team total over. The Rays have just been struggling on defense recently, and Toronto's bats have been pretty impressive. 2, 7, 9, 5, 12, 5, 9, 3, 2, 7 in their last 10. So they've definitely been working. Yeah. I don't know much about Patino. I still need. What's his name? Patino. Great.
Yeah.
I'm mad that covers didn't have that. Give me his stats, damn it. Pitcher stats. Can you please? Thank you. 2021, 1-1, 3.6 ERA with a it's not going to show me his whip. Okay, so he's not bad. Struggles on the road a little bit. Struggled in his last 3 a little bit. Definitely a down season compared to what it was last season. I just trust the Rays or the Blue Jays bats a lot recently, and I don't trust the Rays defense. I think that 4.5 is a good spot for them, especially, thank you, CB. Totally forgot that Toronto plays in a smaller ballpark, let's call it. So yeah, give me the Blue Jays team total over on that one. Moving on, let's go to Houston versus Cleveland at 7:10. We have McCollins Jr. facing Sam Henches for Cleveland. Astros on the road getting -180. Cleveland at home getting +155. Looks like Astros are getting 84% of tickets, 72% of money. Let's get into the pitchers. Looks like McCollins Jr. is a 2.94 ERA with a 1.17 whip. Quite impressive. Henches, on the other hand, not impressive at all. 7.32 ERA with a 2 whip. Blue Jays averaging 6 runs a game last 9 games in Buffalo. CB coming through with the stats today, with the facts today. Man, it's just running facts over there. So looking at Sam Henches, he started out the season rough and has been 3 of his last 4. He's gone 0 earned runs, very little hits, and then his last outing, he went 6 hits and 6 earned runs. It looks like he pitches anywhere from 1 to 5 innings. They don't really know what they're going to get out of him. He either goes crazy or doesn't. Doesn't walk a lot of people. Definitely been playing well in his last 4, 2 home runs. Give me the. Oh, it is at 5.5. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping it wasn't going to be at 5.5. The Sam Henches has been playing well as of recent, besides his last game. Um, over under set at 9. Collins Jr. is not gonna get. He'll be fine against Cleveland. I lean Astros team total over. I don't think I'll make that official. I don't. You know me. I don't like playing the over 5.5 because I think that's a scary line to try and get 6 runs out of a team. However, if they can get to Henches, they will easily hit that team total over. They just need to get at least 1 on him because it looks like if you can get 1 on him, you can blow him up. So hopefully they can get 1. That's maybe worth a live bet. If Astros get 1 on him early, you might want to take some kind of game total over or just Astros team total over if you can still do it. Moving on to 7:10, we have Cubs and Cincinnati Reds. It looks like I hate when they're not in order. The Cubs are getting plus 135 on the road. The Reds are getting minus 159 at home. Reds getting 53% of tickets, but 87% of money. That's a stack. Let's see why. Sonny Gray versus Alec Mills. Alec Mills on the mound for Cubs. 5.11 ERA, 1.6 whip. Definitely not that impressive. Gray, 3.42 ERA, 1.3 whip. Looks like Gray will go anywhere from 4 to 6 innings, and Mills will probably only go 2 to 4, 2 to 3 maybe. Let's see the pitchers. Looks like Alec Mills really struggles on the road at a 7.4 ERA and a 1.84 whip. In his last 3, he has been pretty good on the ERA, but still has a 1.73 whip, so he's going to get put a lot of people on base, it seems like. Average walks on the road is almost 5. So going to put a lot of people on base. And the Cincinnati Reds offense is a very good offense. That's offense. I was looking at the wrong stat. Anyways, Sonny Gray, 1.98 ERA in his last 3. Very, very good. 0.88 whip. I think that the Reds could win this game, but where I feel more confident putting my money is on the over. I'm guessing it's 5.5. I'm hoping it's plus money, right?
It's 5.5 plus 105.
Reds over 5.5. I know. I literally just got done talking about how I don't like taking over 5.5. However, I do really like the spot from the Reds. Their bats are very good, a little inconsistent, better at home. That's the only part that scares me is the inconsistency of the Reds. However, their last 10, their bats have been working pretty well. 5, 5, 4, 12, 0, 4, 2, 5, 10, 5. So that over 5.5 is really tough to hit. Like I said, just to lean on the Reds over 5.5. Probably not going to make it official because I hate going for 6 runs. But the Cincinnati Reds scored plenty of runs today. Next game we have. This is going to be an interesting one. Remember how in the beginning of the season we were talking about the Chicago White Sox and how they're just dominant against lefties, and then all of a sudden they stop being dominant against lefties, and now they're dominant against righties? Mm-hmm. Well, the Detroit Tigers are putting out a righty tonight. However, it's Casey Mize. Casey Mize is a damn good pitcher. Casey Mize, 3.46 ERA with a 1.13 whip. Lynn, on the other hand, is a 2.17 ERA with a 1 flat whip. Both will go 5 to 6 innings. Both very good starting pitchers. I hate betting against Casey Mize. He's a very, very solid pitcher. Let's see, these two went up again. Yeah, Casey Mize pitched against the Houston Astros and gave up 0 earned runs his last time out, and then he pitched against the Angels and only gave up 1. Give me the game total under on this or the White Sox to win. Actually, I did not check to see the money on the White Sox. I'm hoping it's not too much because they're getting minus 150 on the road. Tigers getting plus 128. 75% of tickets on the White Sox, but 56% of money on the Tigers. So people are definitely believing in Casey Mize. I'm still going to lean the White Sox in this one. And the Red Sox play today too. Dirty Sox parlay round 5?
Probably is going to have to be.
I will say be careful of Casey Mize. Maybe the first three or first five under. I really like that. Um, I don't know if BetUS has that, but if your book has a first three or first five under for White
It's a
Sox or
good
Detroit,
question.
I don't have that bet on either of my books, so I'm not going to take it. However, if I did, I would be taking that because I really trust Casey Mize. And Lance Lynn is a very good pitcher himself. Next game, we have 7:20 Braves at home taking on the Marlins on the road. We have Braves getting minus 121 at home, Marlins getting plus 104 on the road. 61% of tickets on the Braves, but 65% of money on the Marlins. Kind of makes me think that people are putting Braves in a bunch of parlays, which I don't like because any team that gets repetitively put in parlays normally ends up losing. Pablo Lopez is on the mound for the Marlins. Drew Smiley, yeah, Smiley is on the. That's a fly on my screen. Get out of there. Smiley on the mound for Atlanta Braves. It looks like a 4.79 ERA for Smiley with a 1.32 WHIP. Lopez does not. Oh, Lopez does have stats. He's a 2.87 ERA with a. They were not going to give me his WHIP for some reason. On base percentage is almost a 300, however, which is not very good. Let's see how we're doing here. Zach, I'm getting two different pitchers here. I think
What?
Zach Thompson's on the mound, right?
Who
Or is it Smiley?
I have Smiley for the Braves on BetUS
And
too.
Lopez on BetUS.
Yeah, for Marlins. Yeah.
Okay, they're giving me two different pitchers here. I'm not sure which one it actually is. However, I don't like this game in general to begin with. Smiley, you know what's the Marlins team total over for me? I was hoping it was 3.5. I think this is a stay away game. I do think the Marlins will run up, get some bases on this one. I know their bats do not work very well. However, when they get a pitcher that they can expose, they blow them up. They scored 11 against the Phillies, 11 against Washington, 11 against the Cubs. Um, if they can get into that starting pitcher, they'll do really well. I just don't know if they can. The Braves also do not have a great bullpen. I think this is just a stay away game in general. I don't like this one at all, especially not knowing who's actually the starting pitcher. Even though I could probably find it out, but I'm just gonna stay away from that game. 8:10 we have Johan Oviedo pitching for the St. Louis, going against Chichi Gonzalez of the Rockies. Let's see what our percentages are at here. Rockies getting minus 108 at home. Cardinals plus nope, minus 108 on the road. So basically a pick 'em here. Looks like Rockies getting 69% of tickets and 66% of money. Rockies came back to beat the Cardinals last night in extra innings, 5-2, 6-2. I know it's tied 2-2 going in extra innings. So, let's check out the pitching. Chichi Gonzalez, a 5.81 ERA with a 1.45 WHIP. Oviedo is a 5.23 ERA with a 1.6 WHIP. Both pitchers will go 4 or 5 innings. These pitchers are not good at all, and the over-under is reflected of that with 12.5. Holy shit. That is a huge over-under. Let's see how our pitchers are doing here. Looks like we've got Oviedo, and is not a good away pitcher at all. 6.91 ERA on the road with a 2.3 WHIP. Yikes. His last three has not been too bad. 4.3 ERA with a 1.7 WHIP. Still, that WHIP is way too high. On base percentage in his last three is almost 400, and on the road is almost 450. Ouch. Chichi Gonzalez is not much better himself with a 4.7 ERA and a 1.4 WHIP at home. However, in his last three, he's up to a 6 ERA with a 1.35 WHIP. I can see why this game is set at 12.5. It makes a lot of sense to be set at 12.5. That is a huge line to play. However, the team total overs, I think, yeah, the Cardinals are getting over 6.5 at minus 110, and the Rockies are getting over 5.5 at minus 125. I don't trust either team's offense. Rob, oh, That total moved a full run. The issue with over here potentially is just how woeful the Cardinals offense has been. How woeful the Cardinals offense has been and how woeful the Rockies offense has been. Let's not forget that the Rockies have not been anything spectacular recently either. Um, they seem to put up a shitload of runs anytime that Chichi Gonzalez pitches, if that means anything. However, I don't trust their bats necessarily. I really don't. I feel like anytime I do, I get crunched by it. Now, in their last three, they have scored 5, 6, and 8, but that was against St. Louis, Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh. And then before that, they went 2-0, 4-4, 5-1, 6. So, like, getting 5, they don't do it often. Then to get 6, they've only hit over 6. They've hit 6 once, twice in their past 10 games, and both were against Pittsburgh. One was against Chad Kuhl, which is probably one of the worst pitchers the Pittsburgh Pirates have. The other one was DeJong, and I think they just got into their bullpen. So I don't trust either team's bats to be getting 12 and a half. However, these starting pitchers are bad, and I could easily see a 4, 5, 6 run inning out of one of them. And if that happens, the over hits. But I will say 12 and a half seems like a little bit much. I don't trust either of these teams' bats like that. So maybe lean under 12 and a half, honestly, in this game. I know that that's probably in the minority on that one. Let me see if their over is getting slammed on for percentage. Rockies. The under is actually getting slammed. So people have the same idea that I have right now. Looks like 61% of tickets on the over, but 80% of tickets on the under. I think that might be a stay away then, but I am going to write it down just in case I see a spot for it. Cardinals and Rockies under. Yeah, and that line did move up an entire run. It opened at 11 and a half, and then I think went to 12 and a half. So I like that even more, actually, when the line's moving like that. Especially when all the money's on the... It seems like a little trap line almost. Let's see here. What do we have next? Hang on. Twins versus the Royals. J.A. Happ versus Brady Singer. These are just two very bad teams going at it tonight. That's the Twins getting plus 102 on the road. Royals getting minus 120 at home. Looks like Royals getting 62% of tickets and 80% of money. Wow, that's disrespectful. I almost feel bad for my Twins that they're going against the Royals and getting that kind of percentage. Both pitchers, horrible. Brady Singer, 4.7 ERA with a 1.49 whip. J.A. Happ, 5.83 ERA with a 1.45 whip. Both pitchers will go 4-6. Let's dive into these pitchers a little bit more. Brady Singer actually not been bad at home or in his last three with about a 4 flat ERA. His whip at home goes down to a 1.45, but his whip in his last three is almost a 1.9. On base percentage, about 350 and 390 in his last three. J.A. Happ on the road is getting an 8 ERA with a 1.7 whip. His last three, 1.77 whip. He's almost at a 400 on base percentage in his last three, 375 on the road. The over is set at 10, correct? 9.5 on that.
9.5. Minus 115 for the over.
I think both teams hit the over. I truly do. Both teams have dog shit bullpens. Both teams have dog shit starting pitchers. Both teams' bats have been working very well lately, besides Kansas City's rout yesterday against the Red Sox that they lost 15-1. Let me double check the bats real quick. Looks like in Minnesota's last 10, they've gone 5-3, 6-8-8, 1-7-7, 4-3. That's a lot. They've hit the over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 6, 3, and 1 in their last 10 overs. Kansas City, on the other hand, has only put up 1, 2, 6, 5, 1, 0, 4, 1, 5, 6, but have been given up. Yes, and Royals have lost 9 straight. Not to mention. It seems really disrespectful.
Dirty Sox.
Now, because I am Hey, Minnesota Twins fan, I know that this is the perfect spot for the Minnesota Twins to lose. Because if you don't remember, Baltimore Orioles were on a 24 away game losing streak. And guess who broke that one? That was the Minnesota Twins when we were at home. And now we have a 9-game losing streak for Kansas City against a team that we genuinely struggle with. Interdivision, we don't win a whole lot of games. Played them 10 times this year. Kansas City, we're about split. Or actually, we played each other more than 10 times. Just give me the game total over and make it easy for me. Looks like BetUS is offering 9.5. I definitely like that. I'll be placing that bet through BetUS for sure instead of Fox Bet because I think Fox Bet's at 10 and is juiced more than that. Yeah, I think that both starting pitchers get routed today. I like both team total overs, honestly, too. I just don't trust them individually. I feel like one team could probably blow the other one out on this. Yeah, that's where I'm at on that. Actually, I really like that one.
There you go.
What's up next? What do we got? We've got Angels versus the Orioles, and I already see my second favorite pitcher behind Chad Kuhl to fade Keegan Aiken. I love fading Keegan Aiken. Griffin Canning's on the mound for the Angels. Looks like we have got Come on, why can I never find the one I freaking want? There it is. Angels getting minus 165 at home. Orioles getting plus 140 on the road. Angels getting 63% of tickets, 75% of money. What do we have for pitchers? Keegan Aiken versus Griffin Canning. Yeah, oh God, Keegan Aiken. I love betting against you. 7.11 ERA with a 1.61 whip. Will probably go 3 to 4 innings. Griffin Canning is a 4.95 ERA with a 1.42 whip. Probably go 4 to 5 innings. Orioles are just god awful when Aiken's pitches. Let me see how he is on the road. It's not going to give it there. Give me it. Thank you. In his last 3, he has a 12.21 ERA with a 2.07 whip with a 420 on base percentage. Keegan Aiken is terrible. Just to make sure that he's actually terrible. Oh my God. He has been getting lit up in his last 3. To be fair, he went against Toronto, Houston, Cleveland, and Tampa Bay, which are 4 good offensive teams. Cleveland, not so much. But he did give up 6, 5, 8, and 3 earned runs. My God, there are some trash pitching matchups today. Yes, there are. There are some trash pitching matchups today. Yeah, give me the Angels in this one. Give me Angels team total over in this one. Give me game total over in this one. I just think that there's going to be runs galore. Angels team total over is 4.5 minus 140. That has some juice on it. Maybe that's worth a parlay. You know what? Let's do that. Let's take Angels team total over and parlay it with another super juice team total over. We'll figure out one. But that's definitely the way to go with that because we're just going to take the 2 worst pitchers of the day and take the team total overs for the other side. And at 4.5, that is really low. I really expected that to be 5.5 because Keegan Aiken is dog shit. And the Angels do have the 7th best offense in the league. The bats work much better at home. I think Shohei Ohtani probably hits a dinger today. We should find out the odds for that too. Shohei Ohtani dinger. He will most likely rip apart Aiken.
Let's see.
So,
I can probably get that up.
Okay, there's Braxton. There's Suck My Take coming in with the home runs immediately. He's got maybe Houston team total over though. Oh, I have not looked at it. Yeah, it's a little juiced. It's over 5.5 with minus money, I think. Salvi over Salvi to hit a home run plus 220. Salvi over 1.5. Tampa Bay minus 135. Says Suck My Take.
Tampa Bay.
He's on Tampa. Suck My Take. What about Shohei Ohtani home run? Yes or no? Yay or nay? I need to know. By the way, yeah, Angels team total over for sure. I really like that. But let's parlay it with something else. Next game we have Frankie Montas on the fucking mound. Oh, that's beautiful. They're going against the Red Sox. This is beautiful for the Dirty Sox parlay. I love fading Frankie Montas. I hate that dude.
We're not gonna.
Always
There's
fucks me over.
another one. Wow. If it didn't keep making so much dang sense.
I know, right? Honestly, I would not bet this if it didn't make sense. Like, but the White Sox just played the Twins and swept them, and the Red Sox just played the Royals and swept them. So, however, Oakland A's are good. We have a bad matchup for the Red Sox today, though. It's unfortunate. Frankie Montas on the mound for Oakland. They're getting plus 100 at home. Boston minus 120 on the road. Let me check the percentages real quick, see if anyone's getting stacked on. Looks like Red Sox. Stephanie has been gassing up the Dirty Sox parlays on Twitter lately, and she just said run it back. I think so. I think we have to.
At least one more time.
Actually, sorry, DraftKings Red Sox getting minus 110 on the road. Looks like 62% of tickets, 67% of money for the Red Sox. Let's go. Montez is a 4.7 ERA with a 1.3 whip. Rodriguez for the Red Sox, 5.8 ERA, 1.41 whip. Both pitchers going to go 5 to 6 innings. God, I want to lay it on Boston. Don't take those Sox off. This is day 5 of the Sox still on, so they are getting pretty dirty at this point.
They're gonna stand by themselves. Dude.
Yeah, they are standing by themselves here. Frankie Montas is a 6.11 ERA in his last 3 with a 1.25 WHIP. He's pretty good at home. 4.67 ERA with a 1.35 WHIP. On base percentage is about 300 for both his last 3 and at home. Rodriguez, on the other hand, not as good on the road, 6.24 ERA with a 1.61 WHIP. However, his last 3, 1.25 WHIP with a 5 flat ERA. I give the starting pitching nod a little bit to, unfortunately, the Athletics. I think the starting pitcher nod is a little bit better for them. However, the Boston Red Sox bats have been incredible lately. I really like them. They've gone, just listen to this, 15, 6, 7, 6, 9, 4, 5, 0, 2, 9. So they've gone under 4 twice, and it was against Tampa Bay Rays at Tampa Bay. And they've gone over 6, 1 push. So let's see. Over 6 in their last 10. They've gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, and 2 over 6 in their last 10, which is incredible for 6 runs. Their team total over is 4.5 today at plus money. Absolutely slam the shit out of that. I think that might be one of my favorite plays of the day, actually. The Athletics bullpen is good, but it's nothing impressive. It's middle of the pack at best. They're right around like Pittsburgh, Houston, St. Louis, White Sox. 4.23 ERA in their bullpen. They, however, do not walk many people, which is a little bit scary. They don't put a ton of people on base, and they don't give up a ton of home runs. But they don't throw many strikeouts, which means they're putting balls in play. And with the Red Sox, you can't let the Red Sox put balls in play. They're very good offensively. I do like Red Sox in this. I think this is going to be a great plus money parlay. I also really like Boston Red Sox team total over for sure. Over 4.5 at plus money seems like a lob and a half, honestly. Game total over, possibly. I like a lot of runs in this game, to just put it that way. Red Sox, TTO. And that's plus money. That may or may not be our play of the day. Red Sox team total over. I also still like the Dirty Sox parlay. We're going to run it back again because I just can't stop betting it if it keeps winning. It's that easy. That's at 9:40. Another 9:40 game. We have Giants D-backs. The Giants gave the D-backs their 5th win in the past 47 games last night. And of course, we bet the other side. The best team in baseball, record-wise, took on the worst team, and the worst team beat them.
That's how she goes.
But that's how Merrill Kelly is. I said it, but yesterday too, I was like, Merrill Kelly is a good one. I just thought the Giants could expose their bullpen a little more, which they did, but couldn't score any fucking runs. Diamondbacks at home getting plus 128 again today. Giants on the road getting minus 148. Giants getting stacked on 86% of tickets, 87% of money. Honestly, not as bad as I thought. Figured I'd see 90% considering the D-backs beat them yesterday. Everyone loves betting that reverse shit. I don't understand why, because that's not how baseball works. Anyways, Gallen, a 3.7 ERA, 1.26 WHIP. Wood, 3.9 ERA, 1.16 WHIP. So give the nod to Gallen on the ERA, but give the whip to Wood. Let's see how they've been recently. Zach Gallen has struggled recently, and he's actually a worse pitcher at home than he is on the road. His last 3, he's gotten a 5 flat ERA with a 1.38 whip, on base percentage of about 30 or 0.333, so 1/3 of the people he's letting on base. Alex Wood, on the other hand, a little bit better on the road than he actually is at home, but struggled a little bit in his last 3 with a 4.4 ERA, but it's still a 1.26 whip, so not bad at all. On base percentage just under 0.333. On the road, it's about a 0.315. Not terrible. The over-under is set at 8.5 today. What is the Giants' team total over is 4.5. I like that. I think they should probably shell Arizona D-backs today, but instead of that, you know what? I know what we're parlaying. Now I know. San Francisco money line. And that juiced up team total over. Which one was it? I totally just forgot what it was. What was the juiced one?
I cannot move the thing
Angels.
up and down.
Angels.
Yeah.
Angels team total over 4.5. San Francisco money line. Everyone got it?
And this is what we're doing.
Let me know what it is. Let me know what the odds are, everyone. I see the viewers dropping, so people are going in to check out what the odds are. Yes.
Yeah.
Angels.
It's that.
Angels team total over. Giants money line. Let me know what the odds are for you guys. I'm gonna keep going. Last game of the day, 10-10. We've got Kyle Gibson on the mound going against Logan Gilbert. Kyle Gibson is a fucking animal. Love betting on Kyle Gibson. Texas getting -105 on the road. Mariners getting -113 at home. Rangers getting 60% of tickets and 86% of money. Yes, over 4.5 Angels. Perfect. 86% of money, and I know why, and it's because Kyle Gibson's pitching. Kyle Gibson's a great pitcher. Logan Gilbert's not bad himself, though. Kyle Gibson, 6-0, 2 flat ERA with a 1 flat whip. Gilbert, 2-2, 4.25 ERA with a 1.08 whip. So whip is still very, very solid. Let's check how they've been recently. Looks like Kyle Gibson has been just lights out in his last 3, 1.47 ERA with a 1.04 whip. On the road, he's not as good with a 3.12 ERA, but still a 1.14 whip. Nothing. He's a very good pitcher. On base percentage is under 300 in his last 3 and on the road. Logan Gilbert actually really struggles at home for some odd reason with a 6.38. They moved my line on DK already to 5.5 at -105. Bastards. You know, I heard there's a sportsbook called BetUS that has pretty good odds on that. Just like to point. Just saying, Stephanie. Just point that out. Anyways, home. Logan Gilbert is a 6.38 ERA with a 1.25 whip, so his whip's really not that bad, even though his ERA has gone up. His last 3, he's a 3.14 ERA with a 0.84 whip, so very good. Logan Gilbert and Kyle Gibson both tearing it up. The over-under is set at 8. I like the under in this. Both offenses are not good at all. Both bullpens are middle of the pack, and with these 2 good starting pitchers, I absolutely love the under. What are the team total unders? 3.5 and 3.5?
Yes.
If you want to get crazy with it, I would say Seattle Mariners team total under. MGM has the 4.5 -1.4. Ooh, nice. That's a good line from MGM. So yeah. And the parlay is +180. Oh, +182 for the Dirty Sox. Oh no, for the San Francisco one. Or is that the Dirty Sox one? I think that's the San Francisco one. Anyways, give me maybe the Mariners team total under. Honestly, their bats not that impressive. Actually, their bats are surprisingly good in their last 10. I did not know that. That is something I just learned. 7.935392265. That's pretty impressive, actually. So maybe not the team total under for Seattle. However, Kyle Gibson is a very good pitcher, and I still like the game total under. I still think Seattle only scores probably 2 or 3. The Rangers' bats have been like good, but at the same time kind of bad. 8-1, 5-4, 8-9, 1-5. See, their bats have been working too. These are both very good pitchers, so maybe it's just a stay away game in general. I like the Texas Rangers to win this though. I know that's probably in the minority considering they're 12-28 on the road. Mariners 24-16 at home. Yeah, probably a stay away game. I lean the under in Texas to win. Maybe some kind of free play I can come out of this, but I don't think so. This is a tough game to read. Yes, the final game of the day is probably a stay away. If you want to bet it at 10-10 tonight, just take the Rangers first 5 or something. It's an easy way to go. Plus 182 for the Angels team total over and Giants money line. Beautiful. And that Dirty Sox parlay is going to pay well too. That's it for nice. MLB. Oh, damn, I went a whole hour just on NHL and MLB. The Dirty Parlay is plus 201 today. Ooh. Oh my God. Stephanie, how many units we putting on it? I've done 1 and 1.5. I don't know if I can go to 2. Not for a plus 201. I'm a man of the people though. Whatever you want for units, I'll lay it. I'm open to suggestions now. I'm just running this parlay into the ground. So, however, we do have one more sport tonight. Don't leave yet, fellas. We got one more sport. You know which it is. The WNBA has 3 games tonight, and boy, am I excited. I see multiple books offering the minus 140 on the over 4.5 LA Angels team total. You just have to look around, but the parlay I'm getting plus 182 and plus 184 as the best. Okay, good to know. Sean, you should put that parlay in on BetUS and see what it is. The one thing I don't like about BetUS is they don't tell you the odds on a parlay. They tell you the win, so you have to go on and calculate it yourself. Or you really don't have to, but I have to in order to give out a play because I have to figure out what the odds are to actually give someone a play. Anyways, WNBA tonight. The Sky safely won. Wouldn't go higher than 1.5 only because the A's could give them some fits. I told you guys are smart. The fellas are smart. The fellas are always smart people. I feel like the fellas that stick around us are smarter than the fellas that stick around anyone else. I really do. I see some genius things said from the people who follow us, and I see some dumbass shit from people who don't. I'm just saying. Sky Wings, maybe I'm a little biased. Sky Wings, Sky on the road, getting minus 2.5 against the Dallas Wings. They took it to them in the last game. I don't believe that there should be any injuries in this one. I've been staying pretty up to date with all my WNBA injuries and things because they're actually starting to matter. Chicago 10-8, 9-9 against the spread. Dallas 8-9, 11-6 against the spread. Dallas is finally getting the respect that they deserve, by the way, on futures and things. They finally brought them up to like 5th in the power rankings. Oh, weird, ESPN. It's almost like you had Dallas at like 8th or 9th, and then when the fellas said that Dallas was actually the 4th or 5th best team, it's weird how that got changed within a week. Now all of a sudden the Dallas Wings are the 5th best team in the WNBA. Even though they lost a game that week, they went 1-1 that week. There was no reason to move them up that week. Yeah, we're just smarter. We know what we're talking about. ESPN, do your fucking homework. There is no injuries coming in this game, which is actually insane because Nadar, I think that's her name. Nadar has been in the Euro League for Bosnia. I mean, 25 gives you 75, so a unit is a super safe round. Yeah, I agree. See, Stephanie's smart. She could have easily said you should put 3 to 5 units on that, but you know what? She's smart. She's not greedy. She goes, I mean, 25 gives you 75, so a unit is a super safe route. Wow. So, thank you. This is why the fellas are the smartest ones out there. I lean Chicago on this one. They have Nadar back. She's been in Euro League playing for Bosnia. It doesn't appear that she's on an injury report of any kind, so it must mean she's back. I'm going to have to check into that. But that's pretty crazy because now that's Candace Parker and Nadar that are back. Both very good players. Dallas Wings is no slouch at all. However, I just think the Sky are just a little bit too good right now. They're streaking hard. Chicago's offense struggles a little bit. Dallas's defense struggles a little bit, but then Chicago's defense is very good. Dallas offense is really good. I'm leaning Chicago on this one. Looks like 50-50 split. Let me see what Covers is doing. Covers is leaning Sky. Okay. For a while, there was a very good no bankroll management. For a while, a very good strategy, honestly, was just to fade whatever Covers was doing. It was like for some reason I was on every side that covers wasn't, and that was the time that we won like 7 in a row or whatever it was. So not a very good strategy, but kind of worth looking at sometimes. Yeah, 50-50 split on action as far as public and tickets. So next game is at 10 o'clock tonight for WNBA. The Dream are getting plus 15 against the Seattle Storm. There better be a big injury for the Dream on this one. Otherwise, I do not know why it's that much. Looks like, okay, Hayes is still out. So that's one of their leading scorers, Tiffany Hayes. However, Kennedy Carter is back for the Atlanta Dream, which makes a big difference. The Atlanta Dream got smoked by New York, but then beat New York. They've played Seattle twice this season. They lost by 11 and 24. I don't see the Atlanta Dream losing by that much this time. Let me see who actually played in the Seattle game, because I think Atlanta was very, very hurt.
True.
Tiffany Hayes played and Kennedy Carter played, so nope, that is not true at all. So maybe I do give the nod to Seattle. I think that's a stay away game. Atlanta's a really good team to be predicting 15 on. But we're going to get the exact same thing in the other games. So yeah, minus 15 for the Storm, minus 15 for the Aces tonight against the Sparks as well. I think the Aces actually can cover that one. And I honestly, man, that's tough. Those are two really tough lines tonight. Those are big, big, big numbers for the WNBA. There might be a first half play. Hang on, since we're past our showtime anyways, I might as well just. Everyone here is probably just waiting to see what's going on. So let's see Las Vegas Aces versus Sparks first half. By the way, a great website to use if you want to do some of your own research in WNBA is Advanced Stats. Just Google Advanced Stats WNBA. It's called Advanced Stats. You can see quarter breakdown, net rating breakdown. I use it a lot for my stuff. When I'm doing it WNBA. Great website that I found just probably 3 weeks ago. Really like it. Really, really awesome website. Let's check out the first quarter. Las Vegas Aces net rating of a 17. Atlanta Dreams a negative 0.3, which is not saying a whole bunch. Let's see who's at home tonight? The Sparks are at home. Or not the Atlanta Dreams, sorry. The Sparks are a negative 5 rating in the first quarter. Let's see the first half. All quarters, entire game, first half, run it. Las Vegas Aces have the number 1 net rating of any team in the first half with a 17. And the Sparks are 10th out of 12 teams with a negative 6.8. I'm going to see in the last 4 games what that looks like. God, I love this website. Yes, Las Vegas Aces are at 23.4 and the Sparks are negative 14.3. So if I have to decide one on the Aces game tonight, let me see Sparks injuries real quick, because I know that the Oglamike sisters are coming back soon, or one of them is. I think the Chinese, and she's the better one, I believe. No, they are both still out. Christy Tolliver is still questionable. Yeah, the Aces should pound them today. They should be fine. I think that first half bet is a little bit better, because as we saw in the Sun Fever game last night, the WNBA tends to let up when they have a 20-point lead. And we had a 20-point lead at half, but then couldn't cover 15 and a half because they just let their foot off the gas pedal. So Las Vegas Aces first half spread. I don't know what it's at currently. I'm sure it's 8 or 9, 8.5, 9. I like that. And I lean Seattle full game spread, but I think it's just a little too much to lay down. Let me see what Covers is doing on the Aces, or not the on the Storm game real quick. Looks like they're stacked a little bit on the Storm, but not a whole bunch. So interesting. That's all I have for bets today. I have a bunch of shit written down. Phillies money line, team total over. Pirates team total over. Mets money line. Blue Jays team total over. Astros over 5.5. Reds over 5.5. Cardinals, Rockies under, and Red Sox team total over. Our play of the day, fellas. We are at the end of the show every day going to start doing a play of the day, so that we can, get it out to Twitter, so you guys don't have to go through the whole show to see what we're playing. Play of the day. What's it gonna be, Sean?
I don't know.
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
I don't know. I didn't even know.
It's gonna... Play of the day. Red Sox team total over. I'm a big fan of fading Frankie. He is a 4.72 ERA with a 1.32 WHIP. The Red Sox offense is ranked second in the league this year. They're, just to get a general understanding of their bats, the last 10 games, 15, 6, 7, 6, 9, 4, 5, 0, 2, 9. Their bats have been quite incredible in the last 10. They took it to Kansas City. They took it to the Yankees. They even took it to the Tampa Bay Rays once. Really like the spot they're in. And the Athletics bullpen is not anything overly impressive. They are decent. They are middle of the pack. They don't give up a ton of walks. They don't give up a ton of home runs. However, they aren't a strikeout team. They're letting teams put them in play. And if you let the Boston Red Sox put them in play, they will score a shitload of runs on you. So Red Sox team total over 4.5. I believe it's at plus 105. Our play of the day. Stephanie's already locking it in. Let's go.
Word.
Again, that is another week of the Fellas Show.
Yep.
We appreciate everyone in the chat today. Stephanie, Rob, Braxton, CB, Jason, Todd. We will make sure that everyone gets their free weeks. We appreciate everyone who comes out in the chat, everyone who stays involved, even the lurkers out there, because I know there's a bunch of you who just sit out there and watch. It's okay. I love you too. Again, heyfellas.co, heyfellas.co. Keep listening to the show if you want your free picks. If you'd like to get more insight, unit-based stuff, you can subscribe to the VIP. It's $25 a month, under $1 a day. We now have a brand new WNBA season-long package for $50. That goes until October 20th with a month-long break for the Olympics. Great value. We are hitting just under 60% on the season. We did lose our play last night, which means we're coming hard tonight. We're coming. Yeah, again, thank you for everyone who tunes in. We appreciate you. We'll be back next week on Monday starting at 10 to 12, like always. Yep. That wraps up another week from us. What is that, like 7-8 weeks in a row?
Who knows, man? I lost count.
Oh, wow. Me too.
Well, in that case, I think we just
have a great weekend, everyone.
I think we just hit him with the song, huh?
I think we just hit him with a beat on the way out. Have a great weekend, everyone. Win a bunch of money, win some parlays, use same game parlay animals. I hope someone cashes out 100,000. You crazy asses betting that shit. But hey, I love it. I'm here for it. I love seeing it on Twitter when someone wins $30,000 off a $15 bet. I can't imagine what that'd feel like.
Who doesn't want it? Who doesn't want to see it?
Right.
I want to see it.
And all those people, just before we go, all those people out there on Twitter, for those who are on gambling Twitter, if you see negativity, just get away from it. It's not worth it. I've seen too much negativity on Twitter lately. Cappers coming at other cappers, acting like we're not all on the same side here, like we're not all trying to beat the books together. I don't understand it. Don't get caught up in it. Don't listen to it. It's just people trying to get their egos out there, trying to market themselves in a different way. Don't listen to it.
Bro, you're soft, bro.
I can't, but I just don't. Why do people fight with each other when we're all have a common goal to make money? I just don't get it. Preying on people's downfalls and shit. I just don't get it, man. Everyone, peace and love this weekend. Damn it. Say something nice to someone. Don't get caught up on the Twitter stuff if you're on there. Take care of yourselves. Win some money. We'll see you next week starting on Monday, 10 to 12.
And here's the music. Hey, there is the music. All right, cool. Bye.
Bye.